Hey guys, Pedro V here. Now, I wanted to shine some light on this subject because I believe it is perhaps important, and we can also take notice of what is going on around us, especially when it comes to the animals, water, and all life. Now, there has been some stuff popping up, and it makes me wonder what is really going on out there. Perhaps it would do the same for you, or maybe you already have taken notice and have been paying attention. So, this first one I want to talk about comes from Australia. There has been at least 230 whales or more that are now dead but were either found on the shorelines or already dying.
On the west coast of Tasmania, the island state of Australia, a strange occurrence has been reported. A port of 230 pilot whales have been found stranded on the beach, with officials fearing half of them are dead. On the coastline of the island, dozens of black glossy mammals were dispersed across a long beach. According to the state's Department of Natural Resources and Environment, the whales were stranded on Macquarie Harbour. Moreover, officials say marine conservation experts and staff are en route to the scene. The experts will be carrying whale rescue gear. That will help them to refloat the whales who are strong enough to survive after being stranded on the beach for hours without water. The rescue team are also likely to tow the carcasses of dead whales out to the sea to avoid attracting sharks to the area. While as these pilot whales wait to be rescued, locals from the area try to save these highly sociable mammals from dying. The locals covered these whales with blankets and doused them with buckets of water to keep them alive. The stranding of these whales is not a new thing for Australia. Almost 2 years ago, at the same harbour, the country experienced its largest ever mass stranding, involving almost 500 pilot whales. Unfortunately, more than 300 pilot whales died during that stranding. Despite the efforts of dozens of volunteers who toiled for days in Tasmania's freezing waters to free them, although the cause of these mass stranding still remains a mystery.
Now, another thing to talk about is Brazil. There's a video coming out from there, and I believe it was last month, and people thought they were crocodiles invading some areas. But they also fact-checked this and said it was only caiman, that this is a normal thing for them to do. Perhaps it is, or maybe there's something more to it.
Para vocês que nunca viram jacaré, Rio Nabilec, Pantanal, Mato Grosso do Sul, município de Corumbá. Ponte do Jatobá.
Now, there's something that comes to mind from this aspect of things, and it's watch the water. I know some of you guys have heard of that before, and many have said there's something going on, and it isn't looking very good.
Record high temperatures this late in the summer and low water levels are killing some of the fish in Utah waters. Anglers are finding them along shorelines. News specialist Shelby Lofton asks experts why this is happening and how long this could last.
Anglers are finding these dead fish in the northern part of the state, and experts I talked to said this isn't something that happens very often.
Be nice if I caught a fish, huh?
Anglers are making a strange discovery before they hit the water.
We've been having some kokanee salmon that have been popping up dead.
Dozens of dead fish litter the shoreline at the Lost Creek Reservoir. Chris Penny with the Division of Wildlife Resources works in northern Utah. He says that's where this is happening.
In a normal year, they'd be able to ride this out. It's just been exceptionally warm, and then the water levels have been lower than normal.
He He says smaller bodies of water are heating up faster. The fish lose oxygen and become stressed.
With these temperatures, we're just running out of cool water for them. They're one of our most sensitive species.
He says the other trout in the water are fine. He's not aware of any disease or growth issues affecting the fish, but he says he can't do much until spring.
We just don't want to add further stress to the fish because the form of surveying that we have to use to actually capture them in any quantity is to use nets. And pulling them up through this warm water again isn't going to do them any favors.
The only way to stop the fish kills is a break in the extreme heat. He says normally the fish would be able to survive this, not during this drought.
What we're seeing is definitely regrettable. I think what I would say is this is a healthy addition to the discussion that we've been having about water in the state, that healthy fisheries need water too.
Penny told me Utah's fish population will recover from this, but the fish kills show how the drought can harm all species.
Now, a lot of these clips that I'm showing you are very recent, and they aren't getting much attention, especially these local ones about the fish. I see maybe 100 views on one video, 300 on the other, and a lot of people aren't putting into perspective what truly is at stake here, and it's only going to get worse.
I come here every day, 7 days a week.
Regular recreators
I'm here every day. I live 1 block over.
call the North Natomas Regional Park part of their daily routine.
Every single day when the weather's very nice like this, my wife and I, we take our little half-an-hour break.
George Beasley, who's lived in the neighborhood for almost 20 years, loves the area's familiarity.
So wildlife plays a major role because we see the different seasons. We see the different ducks that come in and the geese and the little birds.
Something he's not used to seeing or sniffing seasonally.
You can definitely smell the dead fish. I knew something was dead, but I didn't quite know there was fish.
Lots and lots of fish.
Never seen it before, no.
We first heard about this last night when someone posted about it on Reddit. So my photographer and I drove out here, pulled out our phones. Here's what we saw.
Lifeless creatures crowding the shores. The city of Sacramento's Department of Utilities tells KCRA3 about 300 fish, mostly carp, died here. Today, crews are on cleanup duty, using trucks, tools, and boats to get them all out. Officials say the park's water serves as a stormwater retention basin. For now, they've isolated the water here, stopping it from heading to other waterways until they figure out what's wrong.
Happening now, an investigation is underway after dozens of fish were found dead along the Middle Tiger River in Spartanburg County. 7 News reporter Kelsey O'Donnell digs a little deeper here to find out how and why this happened.
At first glance, this area here in Spartanburg County near the Middle Tiger River appears peaceful, calm, and full of wildlife. But over the weekend, residents who came to visit here at this location found something alarming along the edge of the water. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources says a resident reached out Saturday with concerns after they found dozens of dead fish along the Middle Tiger River.
We sent a couple of freshwater fisheries section staff out there to take a look to see if there really was a fish kill, and sure enough, there was.
DNR says they're now investigating a fish kill.
They're not unusual during the summertime. To have a fish kill like this happen on a stream like the Middle Tiger is a little more unusual.
Come out here a couple times a month.
On Wednesday, Charles Crooks and his 4-year-old lab Dixie were greeted with a surprise: dead fish and a residue covering the water.
That's not normal for the area, and I don't see how that would be. Yeah, that's concerning. You've got to kind of wonder where it's coming from. You know, I'm sure they're not just dying on their own.
And it's not just one species, it's a variety.
Crappie, and there were some largemouth bass. I'm sure there were other species that looked like some very small species, maybe some what we call prey fish, some of the smaller fish like in the minnow families were in there as well.
Forcing Crooks to rethink where he lets Dixie roam.
I really don't want her in, but she's a yellow lab. You can't keep her out. But yeah, her access to the water is definitely going to be restricted. I hope they get this resolved. I'd like to come back here and enjoy this peaceful setting without worried about whatever's going on up there.
The fish kill is still under investigation by the Department of Natural Resources. We're told once they're finished collecting all of the fish and estimating how much damage was done here, that investigation will be turned over to DHEC, who will further investigate the cause.
Toxic algae, possibly linked to the deaths of dogs, is prompting officials in the town of Cumberland to issue a warning. urging people in the area to stay away from water in the town's parks. It all stems from suspected blue-green algae at Twin Brook Recreational Facility. Over the weekend, Elena Girardin posted to a Facebook group warning fellow dog owners after she said her dogs had to be put down from exposure to the toxic algae. Now, the town is working with the State Department of Environmental Protection to test the water this week. Blue-green algae is known to thrive in fresh water when the weather is warm and sunny. While it has not been officially confirmed, town officials are urging caution everywhere.
That could be something that's a little more widespread. Obviously, we don't want to cause panic, but we do want people to be aware that, the conditions have possibly been right for that algae to grow. And if that is the case, then, it could be in other waters as well. So please just be careful when you're out with your dogs and animals.
So I seen this other video going around, and it is someone catching their supposed government poisoning the water, and it's probably happening in more places than we actually think. Take a look.
Hey, what's going on with the hazmat suits? We got people in the water. Yes, probably is pretty dangerous, but we're gonna turn that off. And if it's that dangerous, come on over. So, I got the poison.
We don't have anything to do with this chemical.
Now, I just wanted to highlight this and bring attention to the subject and things going on because it is important. A lot of people are taking notice and a lot of people aren't really seeing what is going on. Now, I will end the video there. You guys let me know what you think about all of this. And with that being said, have faith, remain vigilant, and God bless you all.